Hey guys, Banana Luck here. Welcome back to another Watch Our Realms video. We're back on the test server today because we have a couple of heroes to take a look at, and this is gonna be the last one in the series, and it's gonna come out a bit later. So by the time you see this video, the rest of the units will have already been out. So this is Lulu, the Meta Lotus, yet another tactician, and you can see a very unique range. Just 3 by 2 tiles in front of her. 5.3k basic attack, which is a bit higher than usual. And yeah, AoE physical attack, ally buff, displacement, and strong CC. And then in her talent, basic attack cycles through a 4-hit sequence. Continuous attacking can progress through the sequence, and the damage multiplier for each subsequent hit increases to 5 by 5% compared to the previous one. If the hero stops attacking for 5 seconds, basic attack will start again from first hit. And the 4th hit in the sequence triggers Fist of Qi, which deals 150% AoE damage and 300% true damage up to 5 enemies ahead. Wow, okay. That is a wow one. That true damage of 300%. Honestly, did not expect that. But yeah, very interesting talent. And then AoE physical attack, 5 enemy targets in range, 100% AoE damage. And then first passive, upon taking direct damage, hero dodges it and triggers Flash Kick. Gains a shield equal to 50% of hero's max HP for 10 seconds and deals 100% damage up to 5 enemies within the basic attack range. And triggers Feast of Qi. So yeah, it's not avoiding any lethal damage. It's just whenever she takes damage, she does that hit. And then Stance Break, Feast of Qi deals an extra 30% damage to enemies with HP above 60% and can inflict vulnerability of 20% for 5 seconds on enemies. Okay, so it looks like an AoE unit so far. And ultimate can choose and move to an unoccupied ground tile within 3 tiles. Upon arrival, deals 200% AoE damage up to 5 adjacent enemy targets, inflicts stun on them. Stun is for 3 seconds and triggers Feast of Qi 1 time during the ultimate. Basic attacks start from the 3rd hit in the sequence, and the 5th hit is unlocked, which also triggers Feast of Qi, which means that she can do it for the Feast of Qi 2 consecutive times every time she does the cycle. And it's gonna be basic attack, Feast of Qi, and then rinse and repeat. So significantly higher damage output when she does the ultimate. And yeah, all her damage is gonna basically come out of Feast of Qi. And it doesn't say whether or not that's a basic attack just yet. I mean, the ultimate says so, but not the Feast of Qi. We need to find that out. But I'll assume that it is. Alright, let's take a look at her. Whether there's any exclusives, none. And let's take a look at her awakenings. Triggering Feast of Qi restores 2% rage to the hero during the ultimate, unlocks the 6th hit in the basic attack. Okay, now she has 6 hits, and which can trigger Fist of Qi as well. Inflicts stun on an enemy and knocks them back with 3x strength. So now it's going to be 3 Feast of Qi every time she does her ultimate. 1 basic attack and 3 Feast of Qi instead. A2, when the hero in a team with no lot or a lot with a different faction increases her basic attribute by 15%, increases attack by 15% when gaining a shield. Very similar to Gu Shi in terms of the A2. A3, Mindful Presence is enhanced. When launching basic attack, there's a 10% chance to cast Flash Kick 1 time for free. Trigger interval is down to 10 seconds. That's interesting. A4 is going to be the attack instead of the penetration, because my guess is she has a lot of true damage in her kit already. And then A5 increases the damage multiplier of Feast of Qi by 30%. Alright, so that's a pretty straightforward kit as well when you compare it to the other 2 units, Su Yue and Gu Shi. But yeah, looks like her kit revolves around the Feast of Qi. And we need to take a closer look to see how they all blend in together, because there's a lot of other multipliers in the Awakenings that changes things up. And I especially like the A2, at least the idea of it, where deploying them without a lot or without a lot from a different faction increases their attributes, which means that they are no longer as useless when you don't put them in a lot faction. And given that she's Northerner, there's a chance that you just, not put her with a Northerner because you can get her the benefits of getting shielded by deploying Northerners, but just not putting her in the faction instead. Yeah, let's take a closer look at that. But for now, yeah, we'll have to test out in a few areas and let's get into that. Alright, the first place we're going to try out Lulu in is going to be in Matrix, because I think that's one of the places that she probably has some potential with the AoE damage, the true damage that she puts out in every fourth hit, or third, fourth hit in her higher awakenings. But yeah, this is where I think she might do well, and you can also run her off faction thanks to the A2, which still gives her the stats boost from having a lot. And then we also get that 15% attack on top of it all once she has a shield, which these units, when all paired together, can definitely help out with. So let's head in, and we'll see what the team can do here. Right. So we're gonna do the same placements as usual. Oren on the side, Perlis down, and then we're gonna do Guan Yu, Nomi, and then Lulu on the side. Then let's do Elder here, Lei Khan, followed by Akira, and Adrian last but not least. Just let the ultimates go, do their thing. Okay, this is where we cast Lei Khan's ultimate, second Decay Overflow. And then we're gonna pop Adrian's shortly, just before the focus strike lands. And then yeah, we're gonna cast the rest of the ultimates. Once the Pack of Silence bar shot shows up, we're gonna do all this. Pop Lulu's ultimate as well. Yeah. Let's open the damage charts. So far, her damage is not the highest yet. And she's top 5 at least, above Elder slightly. But let's see what she can do when the run ends. Second Decay Overflow, so we're gonna pop the Lei Khan ultimate. We're gonna do Adrian, followed by the rest of the units. Now we just wait again. Unfortunately, Akira's clone is not up yet. Not ideal. Let's put it down anyways. See what we can do. The stacks are on the lower side of things, which is great. So I think Lulu just doesn't do that much damage on her own. The Lei Khan ultimate. Now we'll do Adrian, followed by the rest of the units here. Again, Akira's clone is not coming back in time here. I think there's just a lot more other units snatching up her kills here. Now, it's a bit late, but yeah, we'll just see how the run goes eventually. Okay, now we're gonna get another Lei Khan ultimate. Adrian's, and then we'll pop the rest of the ultimates. Yeah, Curious Clone is not going to come down in time. Just leave that as it is. And yeah, halfway through 60k fragments is not the greatest, but let's see. Adrian's ultimate. Do the rest of the ultimates. And now we just wait. The rest of the stuff. Okay, then we've got Adrian's ultimate. Rest of the units. Kira's clone not coming back in time again. Probably fix our placement, maybe not here. Or maybe Leikan shouldn't be on this side. So it looks like damage is... Kills are being stolen by Akira in this manner. Overflow here. Probably Leikan's ultimate again. Adrian's here. Do the rest of the units. The Akira, Lulu, and then we'll pop the lightning as well. $95k fragments. Let's see. Good thing is all the units are still alive. The focus strike. The ultimates. Kira's clone is coming a bit later. But let's see what else we can do. Fragments are not looking the best, to be honest. And off at, yeah, about 109k. I'm not too convinced that she was made for Matrix after doing this tryout, because I honestly thought that the true damage will come in pretty strong, but as you could see from the damage charts, Lulu is not performing that well. I mean, still above Elder and Adrian, but considering that she's A5, you expect a lot more. And Akira being Akira is always reducing the stacks a lot, right? So, yeah. And the rest of the units still performing as usual. I mean, there could be probably better options than her. That's what I'm trying to get at. Now, I'm not discounting her completely yet. I still think that there's going to be a place with the dodge, the stance, and knockback that she does. So I want to test all of those out in other areas. So let's get into that and see how all of that works out. Alright, next area we're going to test out Lulu in is going to be GD2-13, because I think this is one of the places where she can do sort of what Talon is doing at the moment. But there's less RNG with her because Feast of Chi triggers on every 4th hit, so you won't wind up into situations where Talon is triggering too much ground storms, which makes the magic clone a bit harder to kill. So yeah, let's head in and I'll show you guys how the team works or looks like. Alright, so we are getting Gushu down again. And we'll do Lily, Dennis, and Diao-chan, and yeah, just let the rest of the things run for now. And we'll do Lady Mina, followed by Lulu. You can see the Feast of Chi triggering from the flash kick. And now we'll do Earless. We can trigger Lady Mina's ultimate. It's gonna kill off the Hot pretty easily. And once this clone walks past, we're gonna do the Gushi ultimate. And yeah, just gonna put the rest of the units down. Since this guy comes in range, you're just gonna proc her ultimate. And she should kill it pretty easily here. Even if she runs out of ultimates, she will still do her Feast of Chi every 4th hit. So not too much of a concern there. Then we're gonna pop Lady Mina's ultimate again. Kill off the last unit in time. As we can, so we just leave one clone to multiply there, which is pretty reasonable, I think. Alright, so once these guys are in, you proc Emerald's ultimate, and then you don't have to do anything with Lulu because she's physical. And because the Feast of Cheese are pretty turn-based, you don't have to worry too much about RNG. She's just gonna not do that much damage compared to Talon. I'll say the damage is much more sustained compared to what we usually see. Now I'm gonna do Gushu's ultimate. Baby Minas. See how many of this we can kill. Hopefully one more. There we go. Yeah, this one's gonna split, but that's fine because Lulu's gonna pop her ultimate. And that should take care of things for us. And then this last physical clone we will be able to take care of. There you go. If we can kill one more, I don't think we can though. Running very tight on time. Okay, just managed to do the last one. And now we'll get this wave coming in. Proc the Lady Mina ultimate again. And over here, we're gonna proc the Emerald ultimate. So as Lulu's. Get a bit more damage out on the clones. And then we'll do Finis ultimate. Okay, now it's gonna boil down to RNG. Whether she does yet one more hit there. Then we should be able to clear off the rest of this. There you go, that's Gear Dungeon 2-13 with Lulu instead of having Talon in the mix. Now obviously there's going to be a lot more places like this that you can use her, but I think the fact that she's a tactician gives a lot of value as well because you can shift her around, don't forget that. I don't think she has enough rage to shift between bottom and top easily, but beyond that I think she's a very solid choice. If let's say, you know, you're struggling with this and you don't have Talon, she's going to be one of those options that can do really well here. So yeah, that's the showcase for Gear Dungeon 2. Now let's move on to other bits. Alright, so that's the video for Lulu. To be honest, I haven't tested her in that many places, but I do find that with her A1, she does offer a lot of utility, especially the knockback. But there's not many places that we need knockback plus Gear Dungeon 2-10. So we actually used her in 2-13 where she did pretty well there as well. But in Matrix, I find that she was a bit underwhelming. But I do find that if you are looking at building a team with really low stacks and maybe adding Ardea into the mix, she might work better there. But just from my testing alone, it looks like she wasn't as good as I thought for her to be. Her A2 is really nice. I think this is similar to Gushi's, where not being in the Lord faction actually benefits her. And granted that she is in the Northerner faction, so not having the Northerner Lord skill is actually not that big of a detriment for her. And then with the other ultimates, I mean, it's nice, but I think A1 and A2 are the biggest ones yet, at least from where I'm seeing it at this moment. Now, in terms of like whether you should go for her, I think that depends. The fact that she's a tactician will always come in very handy, and also the fact that she can do true damage through Feast of Chi. Just that 300% true damage alone is a very big deal because we don't get that many rare summoning units that do true damage. I mean, you have Nocturne, for example, which is garbage, and she does have pretty high base attack, higher than average when you compare it to other fighters or tacticians. So she's in a position where I wouldn't say she's a must pull, but if let's say you lack the AoE damage, then she's probably going to come in handy because the fact that she's a tactician alone is just going to bring out so much more utility. But the only struggle with her is that I find that her damage in certain content like Matrix is not that amazing. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. If you have any more questions about her or any areas you want me to test her in, let me know down in the comment section below. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.